Welcome to POSTCAST tonight. David Locke along with Ron Boone. He's nice enough to come back and join me after working TV on the broadcast. You missed me, didn't you?
I did, David. That's the reason I ran up these steps and just to be with you, David.
And you're not even breathing hard after running up the steps. You're a machine.
Yeah.
And the Jazz were pretty darn good tonight. Individuals were great. The ball club, you want obvious unselfishness. We got obvious unselfishness tonight.
We really did. And our assists really didn't indicate that. We had 22 assists for the game. At the first half, I think we had, 8? Somewhere in there. It wasn't very many. And I was worried because even though the Jazz were getting the job done, I was still worried that the Phoenix Suns, once they applied that perimeter pressure that we saw during preseason, that, oh, man, this is going to be one of those nights. But what a response.
Well, I thought it was interesting. They have 5 guys with 3 or more assists, and maybe that's going to be the signature of this system is that the ball moves in that way and that one guy doesn't end up with the assist because not one guy's handling the ball once the offensive possession starts in the same fashion. And so maybe that's what we're looking for, and sometimes the assist numbers, in that way aren't the same. But overall, the ball movement was terrific. Even, I think if we went back and watched this game, the amount of open looks that were generated that didn't go, that hopefully will go at some point, were tremendous. But it all started with 15. And I thought Derek Favors post-game, I don't know if you heard it on radio, when asked about his night tonight, he said, I just thought we came out sloppy and we started to doubt ourselves, and I had to get it going to kind of carry us. I mean, it was just an incredible statement of leadership from a guy we're watching grow up before our eyes.
And I was listening to that as well, and he was as aggressive as I've seen since he's been here. I mean, he went to the basket strong. He went after second and third effort off of rebounds, and he just seemed to get it going, And when that happens, you start knocking out mid-range jump shots. You start making your free throws, and the rest of the team just fell right in. And that second quarter where they scored 33 points, they were off and running. But the Phoenix Suns, you knew they were going to make a run. I just didn't think that was going to be as big of a run as it was.
Well, they took that run at the end of the second quarter, and it looked like they were going to start it in the third quarter. Trevor Booker checks in immediately for Ennis Cantor, just could not handle the matchup with Morris,
right.
And the Jazz clicked right back in, and then the Suns didn't have a second surge tonight. They playing last night against San Antonio for whatever the reason, they didn't have that second surge tonight. The Jazz took full advantage of it, and then Gordon Hayward at that point smelled some blood and played a second half as well as he can play with 17 second half points.
Yeah, 7 points in that first half there for Gordon. And David, this is his kind of game. I mean, I think you're going to see this kind of scoring or this kind of effort out of him all season long. I mean, he might not have but 7 or 8 points in the first half, but it's coming because this is the style of play that he likes. He doesn't need a lot of shots right now, but he got 15 shots, which is to get 24 points. I mean, that's, again, I just think this offense and what he's doing, and I know we've gone back and forth with that, who benefits the most. But
who did I take, by the way? I just want to point out who I took.
Alec Burks.
No, I didn't.
Who'd you take?
Derek Favors.
You took Derek Favors. Well, it's an argument there, too. But
you didn't take Derek because your point was he was already proven. I'm saying he's going to go another level.
Yeah. So, but if we get this kind of effort from these guys, this is going to put them in ball games. They might not win them all, but they're going to be in basketball games and give themselves a chance to win.
Talk to me from a player's perspective here for a second, because Jeff made a comment earlier that said, I look back at our season last year. We had a close loss in San Antonio. I'm going to have to go look up when it was. And everything changed for us after that. We went and played San Antonio close. We lost. I think he said that we lost by a point in overtime. But we left the building believing in ourselves. Yeah. Taking that comment from Jeff Hornacek, turning it to Derek Favors, is he a different player now? That's the first time he's ever scored 30 in his life. He actually had as many points at halftime as had only once in his entire career. Had he scored more points in a game than he had at halftime. This was a completely different experience than he's ever had in his entire career since, think about this for a second, since his state championship game in high school.
Wow.
Right? Because he only played 1 year at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And he played well in that ACC tournament, but he never had a night like today. So is he a different player tomorrow when he gets on that plane to LA?
I hope so. And I really believe he is. And I'm glad you brought that up because, he had a career night tonight, 30 points. 32 points as a matter of fact. And 12 for 22 from the field in 30 minutes of play. But I think as hard as he worked That was just hard. Like I said earlier, I haven't seen him work that hard since he's been here. So now he sees the level of work, where he needs to be, and hopefully that's what we're going to get out of him. Like I said, I was telling Steve Brown down there, we did the broadcast with, that second and third effort after some of those rebounds. So we didn't see that often, and you just like seeing that. And he went to the basket strong. He made some free throws. I mean, all of that stuff just seemed to fall into place for him. And hopefully, that's.
There's a lot going right for Derek right now. It's his team. He's got a nice mentor in Antonio Lang.
Yeah.
A Southern kind of tie-in, little connection there. I think that will help him. His life's good, right? I mean, I think everything.
Got a contract.
You're right. I mean, it's just in a
lady.
It's a nice spot for him, and we kind of are seeing materialize. The other one I think that we forget sometimes on this is we all think that just because like we have a season and then an off season, like the physical training you're supposed to kick in. He's been working for 24 to 36 months to form his body and be in the physical condition he's in today. So part of the reason we've probably never seen some of these second efforts is he hasn't been able to do it. That's part of being in the league for 5 years. Now he's physically, because part of being in the league for 5 years is working with Mark McCowan on a set plan for 3 years. It's not a 3-month process. It's a 36-month process.
Yeah, I totally agree. And again, coming into the league as young as he did, and David, we see this all the time where young guys just, and I don't think he really knew the game well enough to understand it. He thought he was going to have to be a post-up player, and that was the only way he could play. And now he sees that he can play a different way, and things are, as you just mentioned, are awfully good for him right now. And you just hope that he continues, because he can be an all-star, the way he played tonight.
I want to point out one other thing I mentioned during the broadcast. It was only 2 weeks ago that Dante Exum played the same team in a preseason game, and Quinn had to pull him because he physically couldn't match up. Like, he just was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Now, Phoenix didn't put it on him the same way tonight. There's no question. But he played 18 minutes tonight, and he was really good. And in a 2-week difference of, begin to understand a little bit about what he's embarking upon and what he's seeing.
The only difference I saw in last game in this game is that they continue to make shots. The Jazz didn't score that much in transition like they did tonight. They were running, they were rebounding, they were getting the ball out, and they were making some things happen. They played a pace, and probably a faster pace that we've seen all season long. The perimeter pressure they tried to put on there in that second and third quarter, that's what took them out of the basketball game during preseason when Dante, what do you have, 8 turnovers in that ball game?
No, that was the Clipper game, but he got pulled before he could commit 8 turnovers.
He got taken out of the basketball game there because he just couldn't handle that perimeter pressure that Bledsoe, who was probably one of the better perimeter defensive players in the league.
Or the best.
And I thought that he handled that pretty well tonight. He got caught a couple of times, but I thought he handled that pretty well. And also, David, I don't have a problem with him taking 3-point shots. I'm looking at his shot. He's balanced. His release is great. And he's going to be a pretty good 3-point shooter. I know we struggle. You kind of struggle with that. You didn't think he was a good shooter.
Oh, he's been better.
When he get his feet together right now, he can knock down shots. Not really sure if he can do it off the dribble as like we'd like to see him do, but right now, to get his feet together.
He's going to be another one. To our point of Derek, it's going to take him 24 to 36 months to get the strength he needs to get. Yeah. And when he does, then there's all sorts of things that are going to explode for him. So the Jazz win it tonight, 118-91. I don't think Jeff Hornacek likes bringing the Suns to Utah. He's 1-3 now. His only win is the Bledsoe game winner.
Oh, yes.
The last time the Jazz won by 20 or more was last February against Phoenix.
Oh, wow. Same
so this is not a good experience for him. All right. Well, the Jazz win it. Any other final thoughts? Trevor Booker was very good. Off to LA. We'll be in LA tomorrow night. Jazz will play him on Monday. LeBron's here Wednesday. Tickets are available for that. There's a nice ticket package that gives you Cleveland, New Orleans, and Chicago all available. Call 801-325-2999. Have a great night. Be safe.